I guess Arthur had it right when he said, you get what you fucking deserve. And that's what this show feels like today. Welcome, everybody, to my review of Agatha All Along. So, what did I think about Agatha All Along, episode 3 and 4? If you guys didn't see my review, 1 and 2, I was about. Boy, 3. Let me tell you about 3. So, episode 3 is entitled Through Many Miles of Tricks and Trails. This episode, and I'll start off with episode 3 and go into episode 4. Episode 3 was fucking atrocious. I hated it. My God, this was a test. Hold on, let me just, Arthur had it right. This was a test of endurance. Just plain stamina. I stopped smoking, folks, and here we are. What's up, Carmen? Yeah, so this was just one of those things, man. The show's got me doing it again. Yeah, this was horrible. Horrible. Episode 2 or 3 was horrible. Before I get into the details, in case you don't want this piece of shit spoiled for you, a 5 out of 10. I hated episode 3. So episode 3, they're finally in the Witch's Road. They go and they see a house, and this house has to do with potions or some shit. And then it takes a really weird turn, and it goes into like a Desperate Housewives knockoff kind of a thing. Only Desperate Housewives, much better. Much, much better. So we go into them going into a house. Now, second thing about this show I do not like is that none of these fucking characters are likable at all. Now, the main actress here, I always forget her name, so I don't want to because God help her, she's not working. There we go. Kathryn Hahn. Kathryn Hahn, despite having the most fucking unlikable character I've seen in years, bless her soul, even though I hate this fucking character, she does make me laugh. Now, I'm not going to sit here and shit on this show and say it's not funny because there is genuine jokes that got me to laugh. You know, I'm not going to be a reviewer who just says, oh, it sucks because MCU and blah, blah, blah. But I will say 9 out of 10 times in this episode, I was very pissed off having my time extremely wasted. You know, that's why I got, and plus I'm going to see the Joker today, so I got to get myself into that mood, but God, I understand why Arthur would go crazy. Anyways, this episode was terrible. So they go back to they go to this house. There's a big winery and drinks, and they have to. They have these like bottle of wines. They got to drink them. Some of them might be poisoned, and so Agatha, and the gang have to concoct an antidote because they all poison themselves trying to figure out which bottle is the right bottle to get out, basically. Here, and this is the thing that confuses me. What's up, Carmen? Spoilers late on today. Hocus Pocus, all witchery. Yeah, I like, I'll get to 4. 4 is less aggravating. So this is another thing, and what confuses me about them having Agatha as a character. It's implied, I'm not sure, I don't even know, knowing Marvel, if they're ever fucking addressed this again, but they imply that Agatha gave up her child for the Darkhold. Like, how the fuck are you supposed to root for this character, is my question. Like, she gave up her kid for power. Like, the thing, and I'm going to make this, hey, Christine, what's up? What's up, Sam Crow? That's actually a great name. I want to say that's Sons of Anarchy, because that is the Crow. Sam Crow is the name of Sons of Anarchy. But anyways, I'd like to. So Agatha gave up her kid for power, and this is my problem with Agatha all along. With a show like The Penguin, which is basically a masterpiece and probably the best show on right now, they never try to excuse the Penguin from being a villainous piece of shit. But the writers are good enough to where you can empathize with the character at certain points. Agatha is fucking unbearably unlikable. And this is my issue I have. And I know what people are going to say, but Zod, Penguin is a crime, drama, different thing, and Agatha is witches and Halloween shit. But writing is writing. And the writing fucking sucks. Especially in this episode. It is fucking god-awful. And the thing that pisses me off about this episode the most, Kitty from That 70s Show is in here. She's the only fucking decent person in this show, and they fucking kill her. It's like, bam, they killed the nicest character in the show. I said in episode 1 and 2, I hope they don't kill her off. If you watch my other, check out my other review, I said if they killed her off, it'd be hard for me to watch this show because nobody's likable. And they fucking, I give them credit, they killed the one fucking likable character in the cast. And this is before we could get to know the other people and like them. And the other 3 witches, I have no fucking idea who any of them are. And I'll get to one of them they kind of give characterization to in my next in the next episode. But this episode was fucking awful. So they have to find this antidote because all the witches are hallucinating. Jen has a hallucination about a doctor forcing her underwater. Alice sees her mother ending her life on Earth because YouTube won't let me say it, but you get what I'm saying. Her mother took the easiest path out of here. You get what I'm saying. Her mother's gone. And then Agatha sees a crib containing the Darkhold. They eventually break out of this thing. They make a big fucking brew and mix this antidote together. They all take a sip of it, but I guess that they don't get to Sharon in time, which is the character that the woman from That 70s Shows plays, and she fucking dies. And the episode ends with them saying, oh, what about Sharon, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, Sharon who? And you see her dead. And that's the end of the episode. 5 out of 10. This fucking episode was terrible. It was a slog to get to. I fucking hated it. It was fucking atrocious. Honestly, to be quite honest with you, it only got a 5 because, like I said, the visuals and whatnot aren't that bad. Like, honestly, no, I'd give it a 4 because for me, if I ever go back through and rewatch this series, which I probably will not do, this is a one and done, I would skip this fucking episode. Honestly, nothing fucking happens. 45 minutes or 35 out of the 40 minutes are spent drinking wine, talking shit. There's a few hallucinations where they try to like throw backstory out there for no fucking point because I think I learned more about Agatha, which didn't make me like her anymore. And it was just a fucking pointless episode. It was pointless. Let's move on. Fuck it. 4 out of 10. I fucking hated episode 3. It was a fucking waste of time. So we will go to the next episode, which is episode 4. If I can't reach you, let my song teach you. I'm gonna say right off the bat, it wasn't bad. I really want to save my judgments, but off the cuff, my first reaction is 7. And this is my problem with this fucking show. Okay, the first episode was I think I gave it an 8. The next episode was a 7. 3 was a 4, and this episode I'm giving a 7. This show is fucking wildly inconsistent. Like, I mean, wildly inconsistent. I don't even know where to begin. So, after burying Sharon, the witches need a green witch. So Agatha decides to create a green witch. Agatha actually has some fucking hilarious jokes. They say they have this thing where they're like, "Oh, she's dead," and she goes, "Oh, well, moving along." Like, just the way she says it. And I think this has a lot to do with Catherine Hahn's performance. Honestly, this lady fucking holds this show like on her back. If she wasn't in this show, this would be another MCU show that's completely fucking unwatchable. I mean, I'm sorry, people can bitch in my comments and say what they want to, but that's just the fucking truth. This show is terrible on paper. Like, and I don't mean the concept, but the way it's written honestly should not fucking work, because there is some terrible fucking writing, very convenient writing in this show. And honestly, the actresses are the only ones who are fucking making this thing work. And I'm just being honest with people, because like I hear this like, oh, Agatha All Along is a great. No, it's not a good show, folks. I'm sorry. I've given it, like, the first 2 episodes were good. The third fucking sucked. And this one is just fine. It's at least a 7. It's entertaining. But this isn't good fucking television. Like, I'm so fucking confused. I think people want to give this show a pass because, oh, it's doing a 70s theme now. They sing and it's so whimsical. No, dude, Hocus Pocus, shit like that. That to me was like the good stuff. There were tons of shit when I was growing up. Like, if this is for a newer generation, I fucking feel bad for them. They got gypped. Like, I grew up with Hocus Pocus, The Craft, Scream, like all these good things. This is fucking terrible writing. Like, I'm sorry. People are probably going to get pissed and be like, oh, this is great. And good for you if you fucking like it. But this show is quite agonizing to get through. But anyways, so... next episode, I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent. After burying Sharon, the Coven is forced to summon a replacement, who is Rio, played by Aubrey Plaza. Now, once again, I will give the show this. Aubrey Plaza and Catherine Hahn together is actually fucking quite entertaining. They bounce off of each other nicely. I don't think Aubrey Plaza is the Green Witch, necessarily. I think that's supposed to be a nod to Death, if you guys know the comic books. And so I think that's who she actually is, but they're calling her the Green Witch right now. But if you guys read Deadpool, I think that's supposed to be a take on Death. Death has appeared to several characters. Agatha is one of them, Thanos, and of course Deadpool several times. Actually, Death is Deadpool's lover in the comics, I believe, and that's why him and Thanos battle back and forth. But it's a whole big thing. It's a big rabbit hole. But anyways, the Coven encounter this house with a 70s aesthetics. They go back in time. They have a little like 70s jam. And I gotta say, not too bad. We're dealing with the grief that Alice has. Her mother has a curse that was put on them. And I will say this for the show. When they're tackling certain things, the writing feels a little bit sharper. I want to see who wrote this. I guess, who wrote last week's episode? Okay, so Rachel Goldberg wrote the terrible episode, but no, is that a different writer this week? Okay, these are the writers. So Cameron Squires wrote last week's episode. That was fucking terrible. But Giovanna wrote this episode. Rachel Goldberg directed. So I gotta say, Giovanna, thank you. The writing was much better. This dealt a lot with the tragedy of families, breaking curses, breaking conceptions that people have of you through your family. And I gotta say that's why, because I know I spent sometimes shitting on episode 3. So if people are like, well, why are you giving this 7? This personally connected with me. I liked the 7. First off, the 70s aesthetics was pretty cool. They did a very good job shooting it. But I also liked the theme. I like the theme of this feeling because been personally going through this myself. Cotton, hey, how are you? I've gone through this myself, but a feeling of your fucked up things that your family does follows you, and like you're cursed by their mistakes. When in all actuality, you could break that the whole time. You in some in at some points are responsible for some of your own decisions, for the things you do. And this is what fucking confuses me about Agatha, because these writers aren't incompetent. They can write good shit. So I'm really confused how the quality drops in and out. And I'm looking, and it looks like there's like 2 or 3 different writers, and that explains a fuck of a lot, because it's just like there's so many people writing that maybe you want to give people notes to follow up. But I'll give Giovanna credit. This was a fucking great episode. So Alice is dealing with this grief, and she goes into a recording studio tied to her mom's death. Rio suggests to Agatha about betraying the others, which is overheard by everybody. And so you see Rio and Agatha, they have an antagonist back and forth. She's trying to create shit. She obviously doesn't like her. Interested to see where that's going. The teen, who I'm just going to say, if you guys don't know, I mean, spoilers in case I fucking ruin it for you, but I've read the comics. It's pretty fucking obvious. The teenager is Wanda's son. My bad. His name's Wiccan. Read the fucking comics. It's fucking obvious. I'd be shocked if they had enough creativity to go in a different direction. It's Wiccan. Sorry, spoiled it for you. That's Wanda's son. How the fuck they're going to explain it in this universe, I don't know. But that's exactly what he looks like. So it's Wiccan. Anyways, the teen plays the records backwards, and he summons the demon that cursed Allison's family. And so they fight this demon. Allison kills the demon. The teen gets wounded. The coven escapes the house and tend to him, saving his life. Lily, Alice, and Jen bond with each other, while Rio implies the history between her and Agatha. Agatha checks the teen, who asks what happened to her son, but she ignores the question later before Agatha kisses Rio and she tells Agatha the teen is not her son. So, a lot to unpack over here. Agatha and Rios, it's very much implied they're probably lovers. Actually, this actually tracks. And now this is the big controversy. Oh my God, it's a gay show. In the comics, Agatha and Death had a thing. It was strongly implied. Actually, it's been implied Agatha has been with lots of people, both man and woman, throughout history. This isn't anything fucking new. So with that being said, I did like the relationship between Aubrey Plaza and Agatha. I think it's kind of funny. And also, I did like the teens slightly more. They were less annoying. They've kind of grown on me a little bit. I think that my issue is this is 8 episodes, or 9. We're getting to episode 5 right now. I'm wondering if each is a trial, and then the last 2 will be the overall resolution. But like, they set up the witches following her. Where the fuck are the witches from, like, what, 2 episodes ago? 3? That's up in the air. Like, How many more tests are these tests to each individual? Is it a group together? Do they have to keep everybody? Can they just have everybody? Because it's implied they can only have like one witch and still pass and still get the fucking power at the end of the road. But what if all of them make it? Does only one person get the power? Like, none of this shit is explained, and we are 4 episodes in. Like, they explain enough for the episode to work, and it bugs the shit out of me. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But all in all, I still give this episode a 7. Look, I'm not going to say because the last episode annoyed the shit out of me, I'm not going to say, oh, the whole show sucks. I think the show has potential. My really big worry, and I'm getting really nervous at this point because this show is ahead of Penguin. They're on episode 4 going on to 5. I am really getting nervous. This show is not going to fucking stick the landing. And look, I don't want shows to fail. I like being happy. I don't like being a cranky fuck. I don't like feeling like I wasted my fucking time on a show. Like, that's the worst feeling in the world. Even though it's 35-minute episodes or so, I don't want to feel like I wasted my fucking time. So I'm hoping, like, I would like Marvel to have a show where we could go, at least it was decent. I could go back through and watch it. That's how I was with WandaVision. WandaVision had like an episode or two I wasn't crazy about, wind up loving it. This was a solid 7. Episode 3 is a 4. A fucking 4. 3 was terrible. 3's a 4. But episode 4 is a 7. I just hope they nail the ending. That's what I would like. I hope they don't get too fucking political, and I hope that they just focus on the story and they give us a good product. That's what I want. Anyways, later today, it is me and Bitchy's 5-year anniversary, which consequently falls on the release of The Joker. So if you notice my hair, I'm going to see her. That's why I got the whole thing going on right there. Yeah, I'm going to go and see The Joker with my lovely lady to celebrate our 5-year anniversary, which is celebrated on the release date for the 2019 Joker, which we've seen like 20 times. So we're going to go and see the movie. We're going to tape our reactions going into the theater, and we're going to give you guys our out-of-theater quick thoughts on my YouTube shorts. We're super excited, so I can't wait to see it. Oh, thank you. I am super excited. It's been a wonderful 5 years. It's actually 6, but I don't know. Ladies rate things different. She counts it from we started dating, and our first official date was The Joker. But we actually known each other before that. So, yeah, it's been a wonderful time, and, I can't wait. I really want to like the movie. I'm hearing very mixed things, and you know what? I don't care, because either way, these movies will hold a special place in our heart because these are what we met on. So maybe I'll be fucking grading on a curve. We'll see. Oh, thank you. But anyways, you guys stay tuned for that. And thank you. And my final thing is Agatha All Along isn't bad. It isn't as bad as people make it out to be. It's just a fine show. If you like witches and shit and you want to see something Halloween-ish, you could do worse. It's not unbearably bad. Just skip episode 3. Thank you very much. And as always, you guys remember the rule here in the Fandom Zone. You get what you fucking deserve.